Get ready to witness the magic of turning ordinary clothing tags into a stunning art project. Stay tuned to see this creative transformation. Hey everyone, welcome to Marian's Mixed Media. My name is Marian and I love to dive into the world of crafting and mixed media art. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come and join my YouTube channel. Today we are going to repurpose clothing tags. Clothing tags can look interesting like this one. It has a good shape, a nice metal eyelet, and it is really thick. So my partner bought some shirts, and when I saw the tags, I had 2 of them, I immediately snitched those. This felt like a great repurpose project. If you saw some of my previous videos where I was working on my vintage junk journal, I am taking a little break of it, doing some other projects, but I will come back to it, so don't worry. So I did transform one of the tags, so they were identical, exactly the same tags, and it is a nice transformation. I did some experimenting to see if this could be a really nice video, and I like the result, so I'm going to show you on this tag how I made this. So it probably will not end up exactly the same, but I'm going to use the same materials. So let me show you what I'm going to use. So these are the materials, and it always seems like a lot when you put it all together. But as you can see on this tag, of course, is the crackle, and it is really a good crackle on this one. And because this tag is so thick, it's really a really good surface for the crackle. So I'm using the opaque crackle paste, and on it I'm using the distress crayons. I really love the crayons. You can use some water to thin it, the color out, and you can use your fingers, and I love that. Just playing with the crayons. So I have used these, and I also did the background, or the backside, sorry. The collage paper is this one from PaperArtsy, is that Alison bomber, and it's really nice paper. It's large sheets. I'm still on my first sheets, and you see all the little bits here, and I'm using small pieces, and I've even used here on the bottom, you can not see that it is tissue paper. It's all really gone inside the crackle. So I have, what did I use more? I put some, did I put some gesso on? I didn't do that with this side. I did do it with this side, but I'm going to do it with the next tag because I want to put some gesso white layer underneath. So this is the brand I'm using. I used some text from the sticker book from Tim Holtz, and I've used a little piece of the tape. This is the cello sticker tape, this one. And let's see, I used some normal glue. I used for the collage paper gel medium, and on the back side you see the little curator snippets. There's this one, and the little butterflies you see on here are from this die set. And I think I have covered it except for the dried flower, because I think maybe 2 months ago I purchased a flower press, and I've picked some flowers. I'm not proud of it. I don't love picking flowers in the wild, but I wanted to get some practice, and I have now sown some flowers in my garden, so I can dry the flowers from my garden, and I don't want to pick them out of nature, but I did do it. I did pick some, and I dried them in my flower press, and I have some. So all the packaging I am saving from all my craft supplies I'm buying. I put after drying, I put it in here, so I have a really nice view of all the flowers. And you can see that I've used this one, and I have several, so I don't know what I'm going to use for the tag I'm going to make in this video. Maybe these. I love these ones, really nice. These are a bit too big for a tag. And I have here a few rose petals, and this is not really, the flowers are not really visible, but you know, and some of this greenery, and it looks like parsley, but it isn't, and some dried lavender. This is from my garden. So this is my little stash for dried flowers. So I'm going to clear the decks and start with the tag. So the first thing I'm going to do is lay the bases. So that's just putting on some gesso. And I just somewhere got this gesso. And I think I need a few layers of this, because I want it not that see-through, so translucent, or how do you say it? So I'm going to apply some layers, and it dries very quickly, so you can just apply the layers on top of each other. So that's what I'm going to do, back and front. What I'm also going to do is, because I think I'm going to use the original ribbon that was with the tag, but it has also the brand on it, and I have a little bottle of black gesso, so I'm going to put some black gesso so that this the brand is not that visible anymore. So that's what I'm going to do, and when I am finished, I will come back for the crackle. So the gesso part is done. I did some black gesso here on this piece of ribbon, and I'm gonna lay that aside for the last step. And I did put 3 like slide coats of gesso on either side, and if you have like spilled a little bit on the eyelets, then afterwards, when it's dry, you can just go in with a wet wipe and just brush it off, because it doesn't really attach to it. So don't be worried to ruin that. So I'm going to put on the crackle and then leave that overnight. So yes, I am filming again in the evening, because that's my favorite time. And I'm first going to apply around the eyelet with a brush, and then the rest I'm going to do with my, not with this one, let's see, I need this one, the small one. I'm going to use the small palette knife, yes, palette knife, and then just put on. So I want to be a little bit careful around the eyelet. Okay, so let's just and there's like no rule in how to apply it. Not too thick, just see it as like putting a really nice coating of butter on your sandwich, something like that. not too thin, but surely not too thick. And then I'm just going to leave it like that and clean up my tools and get some quiet resting time before turning in. And when it's all nice and dry, I will let you see the results. So the results of the crackle are in. And you can see here, because I applied a really thick layer, that's a really big crackle. And you can see here with my prototype, I applied a thin layer. So here you can see the difference. But here I had not a white gesso underlayer, so there's a dark, so the crackle is a lot more obvious. And of course we're going to put some color on this, so the crackle is going to be a bit different, so we can better compare them when it's done. And I'm going to experiment a little bit. I have here the old paper crayon, and I thought about just putting something on. It's a lighter color, so if I don't like it, I can pick darker colors and put them in instead of using a darker color directly, just to see if this is something I want to. And I have here a wet wipe, and I'm going to do that with my finger, just see what this does. There's not a lot to see when I'm doing it like this. Not really big difference. So let's apply it directly. And then let's see if I have to use a darker color or if this will give any effect. And I want to rub it a little bit in the cracks. So this is a better result. As you can see, it will disappear in there, and maybe I could use the wet wipe. Well, this is not going really smoothly. I can better do it with my fingers. Yes, because the texture is not smooth, of course. Well, this is a really good effect. As you can see, it's in the crackle, and now you can see it, it's more defined. So I think I'm going to do that. Not an even layer, but that it brings it out a bit more. So this technique works the best for me. So applying it directly on the crackle paint, the crayon, and then putting with my water brush or just some water on it, and then just moving it all along the surface, and that gives me the best result. And with a light color, I already get some definition in the crackle. So I'm going to put probably some other colors on it later. First, I want to start with some collage paper, because collage paper over the crackle is really lovely. So I have some of the PaperArtsy. I have a lot of stuff left, and I have this bit of rosemary, and I thought this would be very nice to put on here. And let's see what that result will give me. And I'm going to, with my water brush, cutting with the water brush the section out, so I don't have that much collage paper left. I don't know how much I'm going to need of it, so let's see. I think about going to cut a little bit of this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to glue this with a collage medium. Where's my brush? Here. And just putting a layer on here. And then I want to work a little bit fast, because the water will make this collage paper a little bit curling and soft. So I want to put this on as soon as I can. I think this will be okay. And then putting a little bit of glue over. So there's also some glue on top. And then I'm going to, with my water brush, I'm going to, especially the edges, kind of pushing it with a wet brush into the crackle. And maybe I can do this with my glue brush, and I'm dipping it a little bit in water, that I have here a little cup of water, and just a little bit, not too much, and just a little bit pressing, or you can hear it, I think, what I am doing, just pressing it in the crackle. And then you can see that only the drawing, I'm just holding it up so you can see, not normally doing it like this. And then the paper is kind of dissolving, and you can just see the drawing. Really lovely. I'm going to dry it and let you see what it's become. Just look at this result. Isn't this really gorgeous? You cannot almost not see the paper, so it's dissolved. And this is a little piece of rosemary, and I want to color it in. And I have here my, I don't know if you read the bio in the YouTube, but I am an aromatherapist, so I have a lot of books about plants and stuff. And so this is a rosemary, and so I can see a little bit the color of the little flowers. And I love the PaperArtsy, because it's just a so nice coincidence. I didn't know it when I bought it. It's here that it says herbal, and then rosemary, the chemical oil drawn from the leaves and flowers, is a sovereign help for diseases of the head and brain. So, and I know that rosemary, for example, is really good when you're feeling mental fatigue and tiredness. So that's a little bit on the side. And so I love it. I get drawn to this, and I just wanted to do this. That's why I love also like doing plants and nature. I really love it. So hope to do a lot of that stuff. But I want to color this, and so I need greens, and I have in my box, and I just have a little box. I don't have all the colors, so I think this is my darkest. I could also do the oxides, because I do have a darker green, and I think I need a darker green. I have the rustic wilderness. I do have that one. And for the purples, because this is not the purple that I want, I need a, let's see, I have the, what do you think about these colors? They're a bit like kind of the same power in brightness. So I don't know about the green, but I do like this, and I'm really in love with peeled paint, so I'm more inclined to do this combination than do this. But you know, why not start with the flowers, because I know I want that. Just start with that. Put this tissue aside, and then put some of this here, and then let's paint some of these flowers. I could use some, of course, watercolor pencils. Let's see, can you see this all right, or do you need to zoom in a little bit, maybe for the coloring? Let's see, just a little bit. Must not forget to zoom out later. Just a little blob of water. If you're not really a big star in watercoloring, just dab a little bit. Just get a lot of water, and then just dab the water drops on the places, kind of a little bit, not too careful. Don't color in between the lines, so it's just the direction where you need to blob it on the flowers, and that randomness gives it a little bit of charm. Charm. We say charm. Okay, so maybe if I have a darker watercolor pencil, I will look for it. I can just do a little bit, little spots of it. But I do like this, and it's the question of, do I want the dark? Let's try the dark, because I saw on the drawing, and I know because I also have rosemary in my garden, that the leaves are dark green, and maybe I should have had forest moss or something, but I don't have that. It's on my list. Oh, I did think this is kind of okay. A little bit more water. It's like the same as with the flowers, but now it's not blobs, but it's more like little stripes of water because of the shape. This looks really lovely. I like it. Okay, not be too precise, and then just leave it. Put a little bit of darker color in the middle where the wood of the twig is, to get a little bit of depth in it. Right, so I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to look for a darker watercolor pencil. Oh, my hands are very big now. Let's I'll leave the zoom like this, and then show you when I got the pencil. I am back. I have tested it, and I have the chipped sapphire, which is kind of a blue, slightly purple, but as you can see here, it is a really dark blue, but it has just, I don't know. Let's see if I'm just going to put a little bit in it. And then I'm wetting the pencil, and because it's still a little bit wet, it disperses. I think it's a little bit too bluish, but you know, if you're the artist, you are deciding how your rosemary is going to look. Let's see. It is a bit dark, but just let's do some spots, and then I'm going to dab it with the wet wipe. And now we're getting somewhere. Look at this. I think this is great. So I'm going to leave this. And I'm going to choose, I'm going to firstly, I think, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And I'm going to put away the materials I have, so I have a little bit of a clean desk, and then let this dry. And then we're going to embellish it with some little bits and bobs. So the surface is nice and dry now, and because I couldn't help myself, I also got the wilted violet I have here. And I did the same as with the chipped sapphire. I just wetted the tip and just dabbed on it to have some different colors. So it's just a little, it's not a really good coloring, but with watercolor it always looks nice. So let's put that to the side, and so you can see with a crackle paint and a little bit of collage paper, you're kind of almost done. If you put some text on it and a string through, you could be done, but I'm not. So I have other plans, because I want to introduce a dried flower to it, and I have looked through my different ones I have, and I have already showed you in the materials, and I think these ones are the best. I have zoomed in, so it's it's very big now, and I think these ones, one of these will look very nicely on there. Get that one out. It's very delicate, of course, so carefully. And then let's get my tweezers out and just position it. Let's see where I think I want to put it here somewhere. And I do want to color. I laid out some crayons. I do want to color before gluing this down. And what I also want to do, because I got this new, for me it's new, it's the number strips. I do think I'm too zoomed in for this. Let me just, I'm sorry, I'm just a bit experimenting with the closeness. Yes. So this is new, and for me, and I think I want to use it because when I have it, I kind of want to and just let's pull out some. I really do like these number strips. I didn't think they would be so lovely and have so many texts, not only numbers but text and all different kinds. So I selected this one because of the color. I saw some like this, and then if you have like this, it doesn't really stick out, and if you have this, then it immediately gets the right attention. I think it fits. For my feeling is this fits, because I've also gone through all my ribbons, and I don't want to use the original ribbon like I intended to, but I have this, and this color is also matching with this number strip. So I think this will be a really nice set. So what I want to do before I'm going to glue all this down is that I want to get the crayons and work on it, and I think I want to use a little bit of the shabby shutters because it has a really brightness in it, and I want to use it a little bit here. I think I'm going to discard the rusty hinge because I saw the fossilized amber, and it's kind of the color of the center of this flower. So I'm thinking about doing, because this is a really white piece here, doing some fossilized amber with some brown along the edges. So this is the plan. And I think it was in my previous video that I have showed you that I bought some packets from the thrift store with embroidery, and I found this one between them, and look at that, it's like fossilized amber. So I'm so happy right now because things are coming together. Couldn't think of this before I started, and it's just happening, and then that makes me very happy. I'm feeling like everything is fitting. So now let's pull this flower to the side and the number strip, and first I'm going to do the crayons. I'm going to do a little bit of the shabby shutters just here, and then I'm going to, I have the water in my little tray here on my desk, and I'm going to the wet finger. You can see the brightness in it, so I really have to move it, and I can of course get my wet wipe when it's too much and pull something away. So that gives it a little more, as you can see. So now I'm going in with the fossilized amber, and this is just experimenting. I have no idea what this is going to do, but I think if you choose colors that are reoccurring in your projects, then you can go wrong. So this needs some, and then a little bit here. Then I'm going to move it with some water. That looks really nice. And then clean my fingers up a little bit. I'm going in with the brown. First, the vintage photo. It's a really nice color to have. It's nice to have two browns, like a medium and a darker brown. You can't go wrong with that. And that's just to give it a frame. and wet my fingers, and let's see. Have to go in carefully, so not putting a lot of that crayon on in one go, just little bits at a time. So you can see that the frame is just starting to come together, and you don't have to fill in all the white. So I'm going to do this edge until I'm satisfied, and I will show you the end result. So this is the result of the crayons, and I give it a little bit of a blow with the heat tool so that it's nice and dry. And I laid out all my materials to glue, but before I want to glue the flower on the front side, I want to do the back side. And I did the back side. I had a white gesso on it, and then I just did a coating of a new color I got, because I got ordered some new craft stuff, things I wanted to try, and I wanted to try this one, and it really doesn't look like this color, but it is this color. And I just dabbed some of the paint on, and what the edging you see here is from the vintage photo from the edge I did on the front. And that's it. And I cut out with my water brush this one from the PaperArtsy collage paper, and I thought this would be very nice to do on the back, the same as I did on the front. But there is no crackle paste on there this time, so I don't know how much it will dissolve, that you don't see the collage paper, but let's just see. Little bit of glue on the front. Well, it does melt nicely in the background. It's almost like it's stamped. That's great, right? So I'm going to dry this with the heating tool, so it's nice and dry, so I can turn it around and do the other side. And I was kind of in the temptation to just stamp something here. I don't know if it will stamp on the crayon, but I don't know. What do you think? Let's think about it. Yes, I am going to stamp a number under it. I have found a really tiny small number, and I am going to use the Portobello, or I'm saying this is the Scorched Timber ink. And let's do it on camera so you can see. But I'm gonna just have to lightly touch it. This is such a risk, you know. Oh. It is okay, but I could feel it slipping. And this is okay for me, but I hope it will dry. So I think I'm going to give it a little dry with my heating tool. I thought about the greasiness of the crayons and then stamping on it. Oh, I don't know, but done is done. But it was like a really nice number, you see? Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to do the front and round it up. So everything is dry, and I think it is better with number than without. So I'm pleased with it, and it's dry. I have patted it and it doesn't come off. Okay, so let's do the front. I will glue this number strip with the art glitter glue, and I've put a little bit of vintage photo around it, just a touch. And I'm gluing this little embroidery thread under it, and I want to let it stick out a little bit on the bottom, just a tiny bit, and gluing this. I haven't quite thought about the, I know that I want it kind of here, but I haven't thought about the, well, let's just put it here. Okay. I have to push it down because the crackle is really difficult to let it glue. Let's put this pin in the glue. But yes, I could think about putting a drop under this thread, but I'm going to leave it for now because now I'm going to glue the flower. And first I'm going to look at how I'm wanting it. I want it a little bit over the number strip, just a tiny bit, and about here. So I'm going to put some glue on the back side using the gel medium, and I'm going to thin it out a little bit. So I'm putting my brush in the water, having some water here. And I'm having a little bit of kitchen towel, so I'm not going in with a wet brush in my glue. Putting a little bit of glue out and then mixing it here with the water. So I want it nice and thin because this gel medium is really thick. Yeah, it also says so on the packaging, and I want it a bit thinner. So let's now put it on. Then let's see, I wanted it a little bit like, how was it that I wanted to have it, like kind of like this. Okay, then I'm going to get the glue and then push it down with the flat side, so I'm not poking in the flower. So let me do that off camera. So I'm just going to get glue and apply some layers on top of it so I can seal it. Otherwise it will just come out with the final results. So it's now complete dry, very sunny, I think, because today we had finally a day with sun after so long with rain. It just became a very sunny card. And I do really love the back side. And then I the same ingredients with the prototype. Little bit different embellishments, but so let me know what you think of them. Leave me a message in the comments. And thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye!